Welcome back to Landlord Pass and 3 p.m. BC. I'm Amanda. In Module 5, we focused on showings and pre-screening, filtering out bad fits before they ever see the unit. In Module 6, we're taking the next step, formal tenant screening. This is where most of your long-term risk lives. At this stage, you're not short on interest. Your real risk is choosing the wrong tenant because screening is rushed, inconsistent, or undocumented. In this module, you'll see a repeatable screening model built around 4 layers: affordability, debt to income, credit, and rental history, plus the privacy and human rights rules you must follow in BC. The goal isn't finding a perfect tenant. The goal is making a decision that's consistent, defensible, and aligned with the law. Think about what actually hurts landlords in BC. Rent arrears that drag on for months, damage and neighbor conflicts that land you at the RTB, tenancies you can't easily end because your documentation is weak. Those problems almost always start with a weak screening step. If you approve based on "they seemed nice" or "I just needed to fill it," you're gambling with your income stream. A stronger process doesn't mean being harsh or unfair. It means using the same objective checks every single time and writing down why you chose the person you did. Jimmy's line sums it up. Screening isn't about being paranoid. It's about reducing the predictable failures, non-payment, disputes, and avoidable damage by using data instead of vibes. On the Landlord Pass Module 6 page, we break screening into 4 layers. Each layer either confirms reliability or reveals risk. Layer 1, affordability. Income to rent. Start simple. Can they realistically afford your rent? A common guideline is to keep rent around 30 to 35% of gross household income. It's not a law, it's a risk lens. The key is consistency. If you use 35% as your comfort line, use it for everyone. Quick example for a $2,400 unit. 30% rule. $2,400 divided by 0.30 is approximately $8,000 gross monthly income. 35% rule. $2,400 divided by 0.35 is approximately $6,157 gross monthly income. So you'd typically look for a household income somewhere in that range, and you'd apply that same lens to every application. Layer 2, debt to income. How stretched are they? Income alone isn't enough. You want to know how much of that income is already spoken for by other debts. A simple DTI formula is DTI SAO, gross monthly income. Use their credit report and application to estimate car payments, student loans, and credit card minimums. A practical guideline: under 35%, strong. 35 to 45%, watch more closely. Over 45%, they're likely stretched and vulnerable to missing rent if anything unexpected hits. Again, it's about pattern, not perfection. Layer 3, credit. Repayment behavior, not just one number. With written consent under BC's Personal Information Protection Act, you pull a full report from Equifax or TransUnion. Don't reduce the decision to a score, but use ranges as a quick triage. 750 plus, strong repayment history. 700, 749, very good. 650, 699, fair to good. Look harder at income and references. 600, 649, higher risk. You'd need very strong income and rental history, maybe a cosigner. Under 600, high risk in most cases. More important than the number is the story. Any recent delinquencies, active collections, or a pattern of late payments in the last 12 months. Crucially, you should always pull the report yourself via a recognized bureau or screening service. Never rely on PDFs provided by the applicant. Layer 4, rental history, the best predictor. Finally, and often most important, is rental history. You contact the last 1 or 2 landlords and ask, did they pay rent on time? Any issues with noise, neighbors, or house rules? What condition was the unit in when they left? Did they give proper notice? Would you rent to them again? Before you trust the reference, verify that the person you're speaking to is actually the landlord or property manager, not just a friend doing them a favor. Look up the property, confirm owner or management company details, and call an official number. This is where Jimmy spends the most attention. As he puts it, credit tells me how they pay banks. References tell me how they treat people and property. Even with a good model, there are 4 common failure points. 1. Letting nice override data. The applicant is friendly and enthusiastic, so you downplay weak income or a shaky credit file. That's when arrears show up 6 months later. Fix. Always walk through the same checklist: income to rent, DTI, credit, references, before you let your gut weigh in. 2. Unverified references. You call the number on the form, hear a glowing review, and never verify who's actually on the other end. Fix. Cross-check ownership or management information and confirm you're speaking to a legitimate landlord or property manager. 3. Over-collecting personal data. Under PIPA, you're only allowed to collect what's necessary for screening. Asking for social insurance numbers, full bank logins, or stacks of unrelated documents can put you on the wrong side of a privacy complaint. Fix. Collect the minimum: ID verification, proof of income, credit, rental history, and references. Store it securely and destroy rejected files promptly. 4. Inconsistent criteria. You're strict with one applicant and relaxed with another, just because timing or personality feels different. Fix. Publish your internal criteria: income to rent, DTI ranges, how you treat certain credit flags, and apply those rules the same way to everyone. That's how you stay fair and defensible if your decision is ever challenged. Here's a simple, repeatable workflow that aligns with the Module 6 page. What you collect: signed application with clear consent for credit and reference checks, government photo ID, proof of income, pay stubs, employment letter, or CRA notices of assessment for self-employed. Contact details for at least 1, ideally 2, past landlords. Credit report pulled by you or your screening provider, never by the applicant directly. 2 3-day workflow. Day 1. Check the application is complete and consent is signed. Day 1 to 2. Verify income, calculate income to rent and DTI. Day 1 to 2. Pull and review credit. Look for recent delinquencies or collections. Day 2 to 3. Call landlord references. Day 3. Make your decision and record your notes. Decision notes template. Keep your notes short and neutral. Approval. Approved. Income to rent 32%. DTI 39%. Credit score 705 with no recent delinquencies. 2 landlord references confirmed on-time payment and good property condition. Not selected. Not selected. Income to rent 48% and DTI 55%, plus 1 unverifiable landlord reference. Another applicant had stronger affordability and fully verified history. If those notes ever land in front of a tribunal or investigator, they show you made a business decision based on objective, tenancy-related criteria, not on personal characteristics. 2 compliance guardrails run through everything you do here. Human Rights Code. You cannot base decisions on protected characteristics like race, indigenous identity, religion, family status, age, sexual orientation, gender identity, or lawful source of income. That means no rejecting because someone has children. No rejecting because they receive disability or income assistance. No questions that dig into protected areas rather than tenancy performance. Your screening must be about affordability, payment history, references, and suitability of occupancy, not who the person is. PIPA. PIPA requires you to collect only what you reasonably need, get explicit, informed consent for credit checks and reference checks, store information securely and restrict access, use it only to make your tenancy decision, destroy unsuccessful applications once you no longer need them. Jimmy's summary. If you can't explain what you collected, why you needed it, and how you protected it, you're not ready for a privacy audit. So that's formal tenant screening in BC, a 4-layer model, a simple 2 to 3 day workflow, and clear guardrails from the Human Rights Code and PIPA. When you follow this process consistently, you reduce arrears risk, avoid many preventable disputes, and if anyone questions your decision, you have a clear, documented story to tell. In Module 7, we'll turn your decision into a legally sound tenancy agreement, using BC's RTB1 form as your baseline, adding enforceable terms, and avoiding the clauses that will get thrown out at the RTB. When you're ready, join me in Module 7, Legally Sound Tenancy Agreements in British Columbia.